you know anyone like Philip who just kind of lives her life, lives his life, and they're just captivated by the love of Christ? And so, they're not angry about it. They're not, overly obnoxious about it. They just go about their business being the love of God in the world. Do you know anyone like that? Well, I do. She's one of my heroes in life. Her name's Jenny. She's 29. She's right there to my left. That's Peggy Lang and Vicki Degner. Not a great picture, you guys. It's a little blurry. I'm sorry for that. But just a great picture. 3 amazing women that I get to do some life with. But Jenny Hill is 29, and she was born with cerebral palsy, which there's a number of effects that has. But one of the ways that gets played out is that people with cerebral palsy have a very difficult time walking if they can walk at all. And so Jenny, her whole life, the first thing that people think about her and sometimes even ask her out loud is, "What's wrong with you?" This is her story, right? So imagine that as a kid. Be a kid. And the first question that people think about you when they see you is, "What is wrong with you?" And so Jenny, and when she was 4 years old, she spent 6 weeks in a body cast to try to correct some of what was wrong. And she now walks, though with a limp, and you've seen her up here. And she's written this book called Walking with Tension, which I am wildly excited about. I wrote the foreword to this book, and when it comes out, we will let you know. I want you to buy 20 copies of it each. You think I'm kidding, but I'm not. Because it's such a story of the courage of her life. It's her life story. It's her memoir of walking with tension, walking into unlikely places as an unlikely person and learning what it means to bring hope by just telling her story. So she's a media specialist, which is a new cool way to say that she's a librarian. Right? I'm not. She's like, "I will kill you, Steve, right now." That was not kind. She is a media specialist at St. Michael Elementary, and there is this parent that's been affected by her, whose kids go to St. Michael, and this parent wrote a letter to WCCO this week, and I want to read this letter to you. Would you mind if I read it to you? I don't care if you mind or not. I'm going to read it anyway. Shouldn't have even asked you. Hello, my name is, and I have permission to read this, by the way, from her. My name is Amy Libby, and I have 2 kids who attend St. Michael Elementary in St. Michael, Minnesota. My oldest child, Peyton, has special needs from an injury at birth and is in 3rd grade at St. Michael. Peyton struggles with expressive and receptive language disorder and global apraxia, both neurological planning processing disorders. We've been at St. Michael for 3 years, and while we have met and interacted with countless amazing staff members, they are both in the regular ed and special ed classrooms. There's one person in particular who has had a huge impact on our family and who is making a huge impact on our entire community. Her name's Jenny Hill. She is the media specialist at St. Michael, and she was born at 29 weeks gestation with cerebral palsy. The very first week, our daughter Peyton, who was at St. Michael, came home raving about Miss Hill. I had no idea who she was, so I looked her up on the school staff directory online. I remember thinking, weird, she's just a librarian. When my husband and I asked Peyton why she liked Miss Hill so much, her response was, "She's different. Like me." I told you. I said, "Jenny, I can't read this letter. I'm going to cry my way through it." Little did we know that Miss Hill was actively teaching so much more than simply how to check out a book. Over the past few years, we've gotten to know Miss Hill and have been amazed at what a great asset she is to St. Michael and to our community. She's very open with the kids about her disability. In talking with her, we have been so encouraged to hear her mission as an educator to make sure every student knows they are loved, appreciated, and respected. I once asked her how she's able to so freely discuss her disability after having such a difficult time growing up, feeling as though she was alone and without any friends. I know for myself, it's often difficult to talk about or explain my daughter's disability to others, but Jenny does it with grace and ease. Her response blew me away. She said, Jenny said, "I've seen that sharing my story has the power to provide hope, inspiration, and encouragement to others who are struggling." Wow. So this woman, Amy, goes on to nominate Jenny to be the WCCO Excellent Educator of the Week. And so this week, Jenny got a little visit from WCCO, and this is what happened. Check this out.
School can be be so tough for any child, especially if they have disabilities.
But a local elementary school teacher who lives with a disability is doing her part to change that. That's why one of the parents at St. Michael Elementary wrote to us about Jenny Hill. Ms. Hill is the school's media specialist. Her mother is a teacher as well. And this morning, Edward Moody shows us why Jenny Hill is our Excellent Educator of the Week.
This is by National Geographic Kids.
One of the things educators always try to do is get that lifelong learning going. Jenny's got that.
It's famous, and they're famous for their pictures.
Sincerely, she loves her kids, and I know that it's important to her to try to educate people to know how to treat someone with a disability, because I think she had a hard time, and I think by teaching others, they can go out and help others.
Oh my gosh.
And you are our Excellent Educator of the Week.
You're kidding me.
I'm serious.
Oh
Congratulations. Yeah. You can give her a hand if you want. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you.
You're so transparent and so open to everything about your disability, and that's just paving the way for all the other kids and in the school and in our community with a disability, whether it's cognitive or physical. So just thank you for that.
What was the first thing people always ask me?
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with
Yes.
you?
And what did I say I wish people would have asked?
What is your name?
What is your name? You're right. It's my secret. I think when what you said, just be real and be yourself, which is hard to do. I think when you have a disability, it's like you're kind of putting yourself on display. Their company, their imagination, their smiles, the things they learn, their wonder.
Their wonder. Okay, so in that story, you saw Jenny Hill's mother and the mother who nominated her for our Excellent Educator Award. Jenny Hill was born with cerebral palsy. She says growing up different motivated her to teach acceptance not only to her students, but throughout the community. She's been doing that with the Special Olympics in St. Michael, Albertville, an active advisor. And guys, a fun fact, her mother is a teacher, teaches second grade, and the principal we talked to in the story, she taught Jenny when Jenny was in elementary school.
Oh, how cool. So it's just come full circle. It's so great
Yes.
she can use her story, though, to impact young people like that, Edward. Thank you.
Yeah, let's give it up for Jenny. Yes! Jenny Hill. And after they had been scattered, they just went on preaching. Jenny, and if you read her book, she's going to talk about the death that she's gone through, the many deaths that she's gone through, but the life that she's partnered with God to see come out of her is actually breathtaking. And what's breathtaking about it is it's just rooted in the ordinary experiences of her life. Now, she's doing some heroic things, but she's just step by step seeing where God has put her in, in elementary school. And, by the way, you can't, be a minister of the gospel in a school, a public school, of course. Don't tell Jenny that, right? She is. She is. Tell it slant. Doesn't matter. Jenny is preaching the gospel. She's good newsing, and so can you. You have been scattered. Some of you are stay-at-home moms. You've been scattered in your home to your kids, and your kids are the unlikely people that you need to share God's love with. Some of you are in the service industry. So at Cub, at McDonald's, at a restaurant, you're going to interact with all kinds of different people, and you are going to good news because you've been scattered there. Some of you are teachers, or some of you are in leadership positions around the community, and you have been scattered where you are right now so that you can proclaim the good news that in Jesus, death is not the end of the story. In fact, it's just the beginning. That death doesn't have to have the last word, that Jesus stands in the middle of you as you go through your suffering, that if you go down, even if the ship goes down for you in your darkest day, you end up dying, Jesus will accompany you home. That's the story that is not just a story in the book of the Acts, that's the story, that's our story, amen? That's the story that we live in right now.